Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at Silver Hand Paladin. You may remember that I have covered Silver Hand Paladin already before, and back when I did the previous video on this deck the question was mostly Crystal Lions or maybe Sea Giants, and I was on the Sea Giant camp there, but the deck has evolved a little bit since then. And some of these more modern takes on Silver Hand Paladin place more emphasis on buffing your recruits and working with those recruits to win the games, instead of using any other cards. This particular list is from xBlaine, and it features 2 copies of Level Up, so you really have some of these buffs going, as well as 1 copy of Dark Conviction, another slightly more recent addition, which can either be used to buff up some of your own minions, or it can also be used to reduce an opponent's threat into more manageable size. This list is also more heavy on reactionary tools than many of the earlier lists, sporting 2 copies of Equality, Consecration and a Spellbreaker, and I've also seen a variant of this list being run with 2 copies of Consecration and no Spellbreakers. So the list is fairly well equipped to handle those threats and really make maximum use of the recruits. Other than that, it is Silver Hand Paladin as usual, so a fairly aggressive deck that relies on building board after board after board. So even if the board ends up getting cleared a couple of times, Silver Hand Paladin doesn't mind, there's always another board coming. From the minions themselves, whether it comes from Call to Arms, or whether it comes from Stand Against Darkness, or sometimes maybe from Vine Cleaver. And ideally at some point the opponent will run out of removal, and you will be able to take the game. As for the mulligans with this deck, the basic mulligan is to keep a 1-drop alongside Call to Arms. Call to Arms is so good. It is the single best card in the game, I would even say at this point, and it should always be your target. Other than that, if you're facing Hunter, it's probably a Spell Hunter, so you want to be prepared for that Barnes Yashurush play, so you can keep a Dark Conviction or an Equality, so that you're prepared and ready to deal with that. Anything after that you should be able to handle. If it's a Priest or a Warlock, you can keep Sunkeeper Tarim. Sunkeeper Tarim is a very powerful card, but it's a little bit on the slow side. But on the slower matchups it can be one of your most important win conditions. Against a Priest, Rallying Blade can also be useful to deal with early clerics, and Rallying Blade is also a good card to keep in Paladin Mirrors. In Paladin Mirrors, Rallying Blade can help you, and Knife Juggler can also do a lot in these matchups because there are lots of 1 health minions around, as well as obviously Consecration, which is a really big deal in the mirror. So there you have it. An interesting take on the Silver Hand Paladin, a slightly different take than the first versions of this deck. I'm still not completely sure how much I like it. Reviewing the material for this video, I noticed that there were quite a few games where I ended up with Level Up in my hand and had a hard time using it. So going with the strategy that buffs those Silver Hand recruits also comes with some downsides. On the other hand, Level Up was also responsible for some really stunning victories. So which is there more of, those wins or the times when you just have it in your hand and wish you didn't? It's hard to say. All in all, a powerful deck anyway. As always, I've prepared a bunch of gameplay material of this deck for you, and if you enjoy this content then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now let's go take a look at some Silver Hand Paladin action. I might try with this hand. The normal stuff in Hearthstone. Yes, absolutely. Just your regular day in Hearthstone. Up against the mage, he kept 2 cards. He has the mana worm again. They all have the mana worm. This is really interesting. Because I have the option to try to play Equality now. I think I'll play another Squire though. And hit face. So I have 2 Divine Shield minions. I'm probably playing Equality next turn. He goes for a trade. Well, that's really interesting. Then I guess I might not play Equality yet. But if he has a counter spell, he can counter a Call to Arms. I really have difficulty deciding. I could go with the hero power or I can go with equality. Equality clears the board, leaves me with a 1-1. I guess I'll go with the hero power and trade away the mana burn. I mean, he can play a secret now. So is it a counter spell or is he bluffing? Have they revealed both Paladin legendaries? Have they? Or just the Knight? The Glass Knight was revealed today. I don't know if that's a bluff or if that's a counter spell. And that's the thing, you can never know. I believe it's not a bluff. It's not a bluff. Let's see about this. I did spend an equality here, so maybe that's a bad thing. Oh, if that's another counter spell, then that's getting pretty powerful.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Let's see if it's another counter spell. It's not another counter spell. Okay. That's cool, that's cool. So that's explosive runes. We might be onto something here with this Stand Against Darkness level up. But he can find another counter spell now. That's not a counter spell. I guess we're rolling with the Stand Against Darkness, right? Well, he didn't play the secret yet, so it could still be a counter spell underneath. So I could also just play Call to Arms again. I think playing Call to Arms again is fine. I have a chance to get another Knife Juggler. And even if I get this, then I can trade here. Then I can trade there. And then this one, I guess, is going to go face. He's really looking for some AoE. But it's a different matter whether he can find it. Could he find it? He could find it. Which leaves him with no mana to play a counter spell this turn. Which means that I can simply proceed by playing Stand Against Darkness. And hero power. So now you spent the AoE you got from Glyph. But I still have another board. Hi, Ikosi. So now there's a counter spell. Well, it could be an ice block too. I guess I have to assume counter spell. So I can push 18. He might be able to kill me fast enough. I can play equality into a counter spell now. That means I can play level up next turn. I can still only get the pop in 2 turns, right? I play this into the counter spell. And then I play Tarim into the explosive runes. And it was explosive runes, so there's no ice block up. Excellent news. I'm not on the coin again, so that's a problem. He's on the coin, he kept the card, so he should have a play. Boot Hoarder, Knife Juggler. If he just didn't want to play, he plays Archaeologist next turn. I play Knife Juggler, it still dies. I play Loot Hoarder, it also doesn't live. Let's play the Knife Juggler. There's a chance that I can top deck a Rallying Blade to save it. Glyph, alright. So maybe it's a Freeze Mage then. Next turn is Call to Arms. If he has a secret from the glyph, that would be problematic. I guess that also sucks a little bit because he gets so many cards. What can I really do about that though? I can take a 50-50 and hope that the juggle misses. Well, I can ensure that he only gets 2. Although I guess 3 would have been as fine. Because he would have burned the last one anyway. Oh, now he has a lot of cards. And he still has the coin. So he can coin Dragon's Fury. That's not Dragon's Fury though. He can have Medius Valet. Yeah. Bit of a weak order from these. He still saves the coin, so can do nasty things in the future. I think it is still Stand Against Darkness play.
Reporting for duty.
He still needs to deal with the Divine Shield. This Direwolf Alpha is in such a terrible position because it's behind the Divine Shield minion that I don't really care about it that much. Can he find AoE? It's unlikely to find AoE from that. He can still coin Frost Nova. Coin Frost Nova is good. Coin Arcane Missiles? No, he had too many cards. Oh, yeah, he just needed to throw that away. Okay, so we're going with the level up. He could have a... If he had a Blizzard, he would have always played it, right? But I think it's Righteous Protector level up is the play here. We keep pushing face. Okay, but he's behind the ice block and I couldn't get the pop this turn.
The end is coming.
Now he freezes the board. But I can kill the Doomsayer. I could also pop the block this turn with Rallying Blade Consecration. Then my board is destroyed. But then he has to have Artificer. That's interesting. Which one is the right move? Because he can have Flame Strike next turn. I think I'm going for the pop here. I really think I'm going for the pop. And then we'll see if he can... Oh, but that was from a glyph. Oh no. I didn't realize. I should have realized, of course. So he still has all of his own ice blocks remaining. Oh dear. Well, he had what he needed. I guess he can win. I guess he can win from here. Can I get 2 knives on the Artificer? I cannot. This looks bad. Yeah. I guess he wins then. I guess he wins. Because he can Flame Strike and stuff. I think that was more important to do that, to play around potential Flame Strike, than it was to try to play around him having Artificer and Ice Block and more stuff in hand, which I felt was much less likely. And of course it was. I mean, him having just 1 card is much more likely than him having multiple cards. There's the Sunkeeper. It's an interesting card. Can I get the hit?
Reporting for duty.
I can't get the hit on the Artificer. Because now if I turn the Artificer into a 3/3, I suppose I have to use the weapon then. He has spent 2 Frost Novas, so I believe creating a board of 3/3s is acceptable here. I can't deal with another Doomsayer if I use my weapon. Tough choices. Because if he has Blizzard, I'll go with the Stegodon. And the Death Rattle. And I catch the Artificer. But this means that Blizzard is now better than it used to be. But with the Death Rattle I can still get something going. He has another Ice block up. He finds another Artificer. Well, that's rough. That is really rough. Well, when they have the perfect cards, they just have the perfect cards. What can you do? If I use my weapon, he can have another Doomsayer. But he has already spent 2 Frost Novas and a Blizzard. I think I will have to risk it. I think I just have to risk another Doomsayer in order to speed up the clock a little bit. He has already used 2 Frost Novas and a Blizzard. I mean, how many freezes does he have in his hand? This sets up for a pop for next turn again. But Alex Charza can set up for lethal against me. All it takes is double Fireball Frostbolt, and he has only spent 1 Frostbolt. So I guess that's going to be game. Most likely he wins now. So he's at 14. 8, 11. I can pop him at 3. 12. I can pop him at 2. But I guess this is not going to be good enough. He should have the double Fireball and Frostbolt in hand now. I still think I made the right choices in this game. It's not like I had a whole lot of options. He has time to find those as well. Oh, and that pulls another Ice block. So he gets even more time to get those. That silence is good. I can deny 1 card draw from him with the silence. But there's 1 Blizzard remaining. And then I would have to top deck Rallying Blade or Vine Cleaver. Well, it's 2 out of 7. I believe in those odds. I believe in those odds. We're silencing the card draw. And pop again. Not with that one. I killed the Alex with these. Yeah, I'll kill the Alex with these. Then I'll kill these with these minions. But all it takes is 2 Fireballs and a Frostbolt. And if he has Blizzard, he can buy another turn. But of course, limiting that card draw a little bit was relatively powerful. Blizzard buys another turn. If I don't top deck Rallying Blade or Vine Cleaver, I have 2 out of 7 to do that. So did he top deck the Frostbolt then?
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Nope. He did not top deck the Frostbolt. And that allowed him to win the game. Nothing you can do about that. But hey, that's just Hearthstone. Murlocs A. I think I'll open with the Righteous Protector. Next turn I try Juggler Coin, Lost in the Jungle. Joey, are you worried about potential new meta of Obsidian statues? No, I'm not. Oh, but Call to Arms. I do like Call to Arms. Does he have a weapon in hand? I think I'm willing to risk it. I want to coin Call to Arms next turn anyway. So if he has a weapon, he gets a kill on the Knife Juggler. If he doesn't have a weapon, Knife Juggler is going to throw 3 knives next turn. Now we're about to find out if he has a weapon.
This apple on your head.
Alright. He can play Call to Arms next turn too. But if I can get the Juggles hit right... But I can get the Juggles hit exactly correctly. I do have to sacrifice my Knife Juggler into that. Because there is a chance that he plays Call to Arms now, and I can't let him have 3 Juggles on this board. Then he trades away the... It doesn't really matter which one he trades away, but I guess the Direwolf Alpha. That's a good top deck. So I might get a Knife Juggler. I think I need to take the 2 mana trades first, but then I might also draw Knife Juggler and other cards. It's still better to take these trades first, because then there's the biggest chance of Knife Juggler actually hitting the remaining Murloc. Because if there's multiple targets and many of them have 2 health, it gets a maximum of 2 Juggles, so it's unlikely to be able to hit those targets.
Your magic shall not save you.
Interesting. How many small minions do I want on the board? I mean, do I want Lost in the Jungle now? I can get a couple of more minions on the board. Yeah, I think I do. Let's play that. And the Rallying Blade. Trade away that fellow and then start pushing face. Okay. I could have just hero powered. Next turn I could have played Lost in the Jungle and level up to get more buffed up minions on the board. So I have 18 damage here. I can kill the War Leader and push 15. That seems fine to me. It's not quite lethal, but it's so close that what is he going to do? Okay. So I can equality and then I still have 9 going face. It's nice. Whee! I think I'll keep just the Call to Arms. So even though it sometimes feels really impossible playing against Priest because they have all the answers, but in reality they don't always have all the answers. And in this particular game I have none of the answers. This is not good. Let's see if he has a Rockpool Hunter. I mean, if he has Rockpool Hunter, I guess he wins then. Because I don't have a play for turn 3. He has a Rockpool Hunter. Ouch. Games like this happen. Like my turn 3 play is now hero power. But I had to do that challenge, because if there was no Rockpool Hunter, I would be able to kill the Tidecaller, even if there was another Murloc. Yeah. Then that happened too. That's pretty ugly. But I pulled the Knife Juggler as the last card, so it doesn't even... as the last minion, so it doesn't even hit anything. That sort of stuff. And now he plays a Megazord if he has perfect cards. That is the perfect hand. Tidecaller into Rockpool Hunter, into Call to Arms, into Megazord. That is perfect. As sad as that is, that was perfect. I mean, Consecration top deck and I can still win. Actually, I can't. So, that kind of a game. So, absolutely there's a lot of room for skill. Because if I start climbing from 25, I'm going to win 78% of my games. Easily. So you wouldn't call that luck, you would call that skill. But then it's a different matter on what is the skill cap in the game. So when you have players who know what they're doing facing each other, then how big of a difference can there be? This game's not going too well either. So, I can choose between Equality now to kill Misha, or save Equality if I'm concerned that he might have Yashuraj. Barnes into Yashuraj in 2 turns. But he coined this so he cannot possibly have Barnes into Yashuraj. You would never coin out an Animal Companion if you were expecting to play Yashuraj soon. So I guess this is correct. Well, and I still have Dark Conviction too. Now I get to play a Call to Arms. Hopefully I can pull a Taunt minion. No Taunt minions. Feels bad, man. The Equality would have also been good against Spellstone, but he hadn't played any secrets yet. So I didn't think I needed to do that. But now there's a secret. I guess he will trade with the Huffer though. This morning Priest got mass dispel on Valner buff Saran chain game. Yeah, that happens. I mean, even if it's Wandering Monster, I can deal with that. If it's Explosive Trap, I really want to pop it. Oh, that was very good for me. And I guess we're going with another Call to Arms now. I kind of want to protect the Knife Juggler. So let's play Righteous Protector. I mean, Unleash always gets through. But this still kills 2 hounds and it only gives him 1 extra hound. So that's something. Now that could be an Explosive Trap. Do I want all of these minions to die? If it happens to be Explosive Trap. Explosive Trap would be the one that makes the most sense. Because I could use Dark Conviction on like the Knife Juggler to save it. He can still kill it with the bow. He can have Spellstone for next turn. Do I even need to attack? This is pretty interesting. If I attack and it's Explosive Trap and he has the wolves, I lose. So So I think I'm chilling here. Let's chill for now. Because I can also pick up Tarim, and then Explosive Trap doesn't matter. Now with his weapon at 1 charge, even if I trigger the Explosive Trap later, if he uses the weapon charge, then that's fine. I have a Dark Conviction for Yashurash if he happens to pull that. If he plays the Spellstone, I can just trade them away. Yeah, that was kind of the idea here. I think it worked pretty nicely, I would have to say.
Hey, give me that.
Very likely to be an Explosive Trap, I would say. So I trade. Then the Knife Juggler goes face to check out for the Explosive Trap, right? I trade here. I trade here. The Knife Juggler checks for Explosive Trap, which I believe that is going to be. Turned out to be a Wandering Monster. Oh, well, that was annoying. A little bit annoying anyway.
Your magic shall not cease.
Let's do it like this then. Yeah, well, there was always the chance that it could be a Wandering Monster, but I think that was still a good ordering. And I got to proc the secret before the second bow came out. It seems good. You can of course have the Unleash. I still kill the beast. What if he's able to make 6 beasts? That's going to be annoying. 7 beasts even. We'll see. I need to start threatening him anyway. I can top deck Tarim, or I can top deck level up. 3 out of 11 to turn these into 3 trees. That's a pretty good chance. 3 out of 11 to turn these into big ones. Let's see if we can do it. What is the card that he has held all along? I mean, it could be Yashurash. I cannot find the way to turn these into big ones. I don't think I can afford to take more damage. I could of course use Dark Conviction on one of these to kill the wolf. And then push face. In 2 turns he can play Yashurash. Will I then lose if I can't find something? It's 3 out of 10 now to get level up or Tarim. And then there's also the Stegodon. And I have an insane amount of stuff there. I think I'll go with the Dark Conviction play. Let's do this. This again sets up for potential lethal with Tarim, level up, and maybe Stegodon. Without taking more damage to myself, so... That could be an Explosive Trap now, it was the top deck. It was Rockdela that he held all this time. That's interesting. So what if that's Explosive Trap? I mean, I still have to push, right? I still have to push even if it's Explosive Trap. This game's not going to go very long anymore. It was the Explosive Trap. I mean, more than half of my remaining cards are buffs for my small minions. So that would be 6. Say he has Unleash. The hero power, and he has 9. Let's see. If he has Unleash Kill Command, that's obviously lethal. That would be lethal even if I didn't attack into the explosive trap. So I had to do that. Hi, Super Singo. He needs another 4. Unleash alone is not enough. Kill Command alone is not enough. Both flanking strikes are gone, both animal companions are gone. So his means of creating beasts are very limited. I mean, he could put me to 1 and have an explosive trap. That would be annoying. Would be one way for him to survive this. I guess we're about to find out rather soon, but I mean, he should have already played it if he had it. So that can be an explosive trap, but then he needs to put me down to below 2. Okay, so if that was another explosive trap top deck, then he wins. And there's nothing I can do about that, because I cannot heal and I cannot deal damage without attacking. So if he top decked another explosive trap, it's not an explosive trap. Well, then he dies. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.